Hello, good whenever it is for you now. This is Zaragoto. And I forgot to capture my chat, and there is something with the game. It doesn't wanna run. I'm reopening it for now. Well, until it works, I'm gonna go capture my chat. But God, it's so empty today. Damn, almost got used to having people on chat. God, it took me like 10 minutes to start the stream. That took a bit too long. Because it's so slow. Alright. Got it. I got you, chat. Literally. Let me just TST. And just in time, here is a game. Alright, chat is working. Very nice. And game is working. I mean, it's not captured yet, but wait, just wait for it. Window capture. Here it is. A bit bigger than usual. Here we go. I cannot click apply. You kidding me? Okay, here we go. It was too big that the toolbar was covering it. But yeah, I hear that I'm gonna be having a lot of hiding today, so gotta be careful. When we reached the retreat in the previous episode. I got my coffee pretty early today. Let me just do this. And I'm gonna use a different model today. Just for variety, you know. Where is it? Alright, here we go. My God, everything is so slow. Alright, here we go. This model is so fluent. I think it's gonna be really good to use this today. I just wanna change something. Oh my God, I just wanna start. Why is my mouse going crazy now? Right, how about that? Please tell me that worked. I wanna start. It worked. It's still lagging though. Alright. This model can look up. Oh my God, I never realized that. I've actually never had a model looking up for some reason. Maybe because I'm just always looking down. Alright, why am I... But I'm gonna just start. Alright, we've reached the retreat. She turns off the engine and compares the structure in front of him to the picture in his hand. A perfect match. Before he can tell Fuminori, however, his friend is already out of the car.
おい
He's not even, he can't wait. Realizing that it's pointless to call out to him, Koji shakes his head, fro- grabs the flashlight from the glove compartment, and follows Fuminori across the snow-covered yard. The photo must not have been taken recently, as the old run-down cabin before them has clearly been left to the mercy of the elements for some time. What? What was that sound? The front door appears to be locked, but Fuminori kicks it down without a second thought. Koji just watches, knowing that nothing he could say now would matter. Okay, let me finish my coffee so I can just read like normal people. Man, why does my coffee get cold really fast? Oh damn, this model has expressions. What is a question mark? Alright. Very nice. Now I have a question mark floating. I love this model actually. Probably one of my favorites so far. Should have more of these. For my own model even. Alright. As the windows are shut with heavy curtains and a gloom. Oh my god, I've choked on something. Oh, that's why the model's movement is kinda funky. The lighting is so bad here. Wait, be right back. I'm gonna play with my lighting a bit. Right, I'm back. Welcome to the stream, FNC Mind. First, yeah, you didn't miss this much, by the way. I know it's been like 20 minutes, but I've just started, basically. I've been fixing a lot of things since the start of the stream. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Today I'm using a third model because I got bored. Yeah, anyways, we've reached the retreat. Now, what's in there? All of the windows are shut with heavy curtains, and the gloom inside is thick and shuffling. Fuminori turns on his flashlight and starts rummaging through the cabin without regard for its owner's privacy. What are you laughing about? Which is reluctant which is reluctant to do the same, but it's obvious that this mountain retreat has been abandoned for a long time. Just like the house in Tokyo, there is no point in being considerate now. He goes he goes to search a different room. What are you even searching for, Koji? Do you even know what he's searching for? Soon after entering the cabin, however, he realizes that their search is meaningless. There is nothing inside but bare necessities of life. Some rooms are even completely empty, save for a thick layer of dust in the floor. God, why is nothing working normally today? Alright. Wait, did I miss something? Yeah, I missed something. What few pieces of furniture are present, more than half appear to have never been used. There is an empty chest of drawers without a single scratch or handprint, but bearing the telltale signs of mold and moisture damage. The condition of the cabin is eerie, though in a different way than the filthiness of the house in the city. It's like someone put together a mock-up of home and then left it to decay. The only signs that anyone lived here are found in the toilet, the bath, the kitchen, and the bedroom. It appears that the cabin was never used for anything but eating and sleeping. Why is my mouth not moving anymore? Okay, it's moving a bit, whatever. Beneath the darkened sky, the snow itself seems to glow with a cold white light. The scene is like something out of a fairy tale, but to Koji, it serves only as an unpleasant reminder that he has stopped outside of the reality that he knows. Next to the front porch is a plain wooden door half buried in the ground. It's locked, of course, but Koji sees no reason for restraint after what Fuminori did to the front door. You're giving yourself a lot of excuses, mate. There was surprisingly little resistance to Koji's heavy kick, breaking open to reveal a set of concrete stairs leading down into a pitch black basement. Not the basement. Not the basement, come on. Come on, Koji, it's obvious already. Would you prefer to leave such a forbidding place to Fuminori? But it's not like he can just ask him to take his place. Well, you can just wait for him, right? He descends into the chilly darkness, the beam of his flashlight leading the way. There turns out to be nothing in the basement but a storage room and a boiler. Okay, thanks God. Exactly what one would expect to find in an isolated mountain cabin. The few packages of preserved food sitting on the shelves have long since passed their expiration dates, and the boiler doesn't appear to have been used in years. Koji guesses that Ogai's mountain home has been abandoned longer than the house in Tokyo. Was Fuminori simply mistaken when he said that Ogai might be here? Or was he lying from the beginning? Do you really trust him, Koji? After all that? You don't trust him, we all know that. Why going with him though? Not sure what to do next, Koji goes back to the stairs and walks around the outside of the cabin, and there he finds the backyard. It's in much worse condition than the front yard, having been mostly reclaimed by the forest. It must have been neglected even when the cabin was still in use. Let me check something really quick. ms config. If that was the reason, I'm gonna explode. For better or worse, that wasn't the reason. The remnants of a woodshed lie in the yard, the mushrooms growing on it, speaking to how much time has passed since its collapse. Next to the rotten logs, however, stands a circle of stone that has not yet succumbed into the elements. A well. A well. Sadako? The well has no pocket or pulley. Pulley? Is that how you read this? Pulley. And when Koji peers carefully into it, he sees that the water is no longer flowing. It's probably less than 10 meters deep, depending on how much mud is piled up inside. Koji's research of the cabin was revealed nothing of interest, inside or out. Leaning against the edge of the well, Koji wonders why Ogai bought this remote home deep in mountains, and what he was doing here. As far as Koji can tell, there is no sign that more than one person ever stayed here. We are missing a lot of context.
人目につかないところだからこそ
Far from prying eyes. Funori's words play back in Koji's head. Could this have been some sort of secret refuge? A place to remain hidden from the world? That would explain why there is nothing to suggest that whoever lived here did anything more than eat and sleep. Koji suddenly remembers the doctor he met yesterday at T University. Maybe she would know something. Don't call her. Don't. Bro. just realized the expression didn't work. My mouth is not moving. Okay, it's moving now. Koji's hopes are soon dashed. However, when his call goes straight to Dr. Tambo's voicemail. Thanks God. That's for better or worse, Koji, believe me. He considers calling back later, but he realizes that it would be it would be hard to talk to her with Fuminori around. Fuminori would not all be pleased to learn that Koji and Yo went to see his doctor. Yo? Yo is already gone, man. Okay, I don't know. She's still alive, but I think it would have been better if she just died. Like, my God. Koji decides that he would better tell the doctor what he can while he's still alone.
どうも、殿浩二です。
What if
昨
he
日はお
heard
世話に
you?
なりました。
What if he heard you? Koji leaves a clear unconscious message explaining that he went with Fuminori to Ogai's mountain retreat, given the address, and asking for confirmation that the property belongs to
東
Ogai.
京に戻ったら、またこちらから連絡します。では。
This is not gonna end well at all. After hanging up, Koji thinks back to their visit to the hospital. Is Dr. Tambo actually investigating like she said she would? Her reluctance to speak of Dr. Ogai weighing on his mind. What if Dr. Tambo is Dr. Ogai? I mean, we know he's a male, but that was never confirmed. He talked to you about it on the way home, but they were unable to decide whether the doctor could really be trusted. Speaking of which, how is Yo doing? Koji hasn't seen her today. You are too late, you freaking idiot! You are too late. It's so done. So the game is eerily silent today, and I kind of don't like this. Yeah, at the end I just came back to use the original model. Okay, maybe it was the other here. I like this one more. He didn't say a word to her about his trip to Chigi. She might be worried, especially so soon after Omi's disappearance. And yet you didn't tell her anything. Think to check up on her, Koji dials Yo's number and a surprise when it rings longer than it usually does. It's gonna be awful if she answered him screaming and crying and he don't even know what the hell is happening. Did she forget her phone somewhere? Just as he's about to give up, the call The first thing Koji hears is a strange sound. It's not signal interference, but some kind of wet, distorted noise. Like the voiceless groans or perhaps sobs of someone far away. Saya was the one who answered, right? Freaking Saya was the one who answered, right? Oh my god, it's exactly what I said, and I hate that I was right. Shit, not, okay, you know what? It might be weird for absolutely no reason. This is what I started with anyways. But take off the glasses. The glasses, damn it.
つくばなのか。
Wait, why is it on auto? Okay, it's back. No, that's exactly what they are. The person on the other side is crying. Who is there? There is a response, but is it really Tsukuba's voice? It's too twisted with agony for Koji to tell. Panic surges through Koji as he realizes that something terribly wrong.
コーチだ。殿コーチだよ。つくばなのか。今どこなんだ。
I wonder. After a short period of nothing but pain bonds, words start coming through the speaker one by one, as though each takes an act of will. I think at this point she hears Koji just as a monster, right?
怪物に襲われて、そしたら体がなんか変なの。
何があった。おいつくば大丈夫か。
She's done. She's so done. Should stop playing with the goddamn model and concentrate on the goddamn game. Yo, must be delirious because Koji can't understand a thing she's saying. Her gasps and wheezes, however, are enough to tell him that she's in unimaginable pain.
どんどんくすっていくの。肌が崩れて。
Wait, is she making her see herself as a monster?
耳が取れちゃった。
Oh my god. It's not making any sense. Koji feels despair, sees his hurt in an iron grip. And he's so far away, he can't even go to her at this point. What is happening to Yoh now? 100 kilometers away. Only her voice gives any hints of what she's going through. There is nothing he can do for her.
助けて。こんなの。
He's not there at all. He can't reach you in time.
こんな形の指。私の手じゃない。
つくば警察を呼べ。助けを呼ぶんだ。
This is not gonna work.
いや、こんな姿、人に見せられない。
Suddenly breaks into a violent hacking cough, as though trying to expel something filling her throat.
つくば。
Koji screams into the phone. His reason is overwhelmed by unimaginable horror. Which is why he is unable to react when the phone is suddenly knocked from his hand, and also why he didn't notice Fuminori sneaking up into him until it was too late. Fuminori planned that?
No.
When he seizes Koji's lower jaw with his right hand, cutting off Koji's angry shout. Koji can hardly believe the strength of the smaller man's grip. His biggest mistake was leaning back against the wall. There is nothing to grab onto. As Fuminori pushes him backward over the edge, he can only flail his arms vainly against the air. They planned that. Both of them planned that. Koji soon loses his balance entirely. He feels a terrifying weightlessness as the world spins before his eyes. Before he can realize what has happened, his back strikes something with tremendous force. He thrashes wildly as cold, dirty water fills his mouth and freezes him to the core. Only when his fingers find the wall of the well, he's able to regain his senses of direction and right himself. Why getting rid of them? Fuminori, you had a lot of options. Why taking the awful one? On his hands and knees in mu- on his hands and knees in mud, Koji vomits filthy water out of his lungs.
みのり
He tries to shout, but it comes out as a hoarse groan, distorted by the echo in the cramped space. Funori's laughter, on the other hand, is as clear as a bell.
電話中に邪魔して悪かったね。ほら返すよ。
Notices Koji's phone into the wall. Koji catches it just before it hits him in the face, but finds that the battery pack has been removed, rendering it useless.
何のつもりだ貴様
This is no joke. It's a miracle that Koji is uninjured. He could easily have broken his neck. And just because he's not hurt doesn't mean that he's safe. Koji feels around the inside of the well, searching for something to hold on. But the mud-covered stone offers no purchase. It's obvious that he won't be able to get out without help.
落ちた拍子に死んでればまだ苦しまずに済んだのに。コウジ、君って本当に運がないんだね。
お前おいまさか
Koji starts to say, but trails off as the pieces finally come together in his head. Today's sudden change in Fuminori's attitude, that smile that always seemed somehow malevolent. Fuminori hadn't been smiling to Koji, but at the thought of his friend's death.
どうして
He's not even doing that to eat them. Why would you do that? He can't wrap his head around this turn of events. Why would Fuminori try to kill him? True, Fuminori has wanted Koji to stay out of his business, but is that really a motive for murder?
別段今すぐ殺す必要なんてなかったんだけどね。もしかしたらお前は僕の邪魔をするようになるやつかもしれないし。
Did he know? Oh, is there a meeting with the doctor?
せっかく人目につかないところまで出かけるんならついでにと思ってさ。
ついでにってお前そんな理由で俺を
お前死ぬのに理由が欲しいのか。
When he replies coldly, he sounds truly amazed that Koji would ask such a thing.
何様のつもりだコウジ。人は何の理由もなく死ぬんだよ。僕の両親がそうだったし、僕も危うくそうなりかけた。
You should have followed them. That would have been better for a lot of people.
むちゃくちゃだ
そんなに理由が欲しいなら一人でじっくり考えなよ。そこでなら時間はたっぷりあるだろ。
Does someone still on chat yet? Just asking. If you're there but just quiet, it's fine. When it disappears from view, leaving Koji alone in the darkness with nothing to connect him to the outside world.
ふみのり
He
おい
can't climb it,
ふみ
right?
のり
There's no way he can climb all this, right? I mean, it's not this small. Koji shouts at the top of his lungs, knowing beyond a doubt that if Funori leaves, all hope of rescue will vanish with him. Funori is not gonna rescue you. That's literally what he wants. All hope of rescue. Okay, I can't really blame him for being this desperate. No one will even hear him calling for help from the bottom of this mountain well.
つくばが大変なんだおいふみのり聞いてくれここから出してくれ
You think he really cares? This probably was part of the plan. In his desperation, Koji no longer comprehends the futility of begging for mercy. No god or devil will answer him. His only hope is that Fuminori will have a change of heart, praying for a miracle. He keeps calling Fuminori's name. Oh my god, is it night now? Oh, 0 viewers. Well, back to the basics, I guess. Usually, skies grow as dark as the bottom of the wall. Koji can, Koji can no longer make out the edge of the opening, and he has long since lost track of how many hours he has been screaming. Nevertheless, he continues to scream. He continues to scream, for he knows that the despair silence brings will kill him. Brings will kill him. Oh god, that's Fuminori, not Scuba. Yeah, that's how he sees the forest. I feel great. The same feeling that you get when the last piece of a difficult puzzle slides smoothly into place. I have killed a man, and no one will ever know. And a long way back to civilization, but it is a long way back to civilization, but neither the cold nor the exhaustion can ruin my good mood as I walk alone down the snow-covered mountain road. You can't see the snow though. I was tempted to use Koji's car, but that would have introduced a flaw into the plan. I don't want anyone to connect me to his disappearance. So what, you are gonna go walk your way back 100 kilometers? The plan formed in my mind the moment that I realized how remote the location was. Even if I could find anything to lead me to Dr. Ogai, his absence would at least prove that the cabin had been utterly abandoned, in which case it would be the perfect spot to take care of a problem. I knew coming all this way to out to Tochigi wouldn't be a waste of time. Wouldn't or would? Yeah, wouldn't. I even need to use the meat cleaver hidden under my jacket. A dry well. A dry well. It's like fate itself provided me with the perfect sting. You didn't realize I'm trying to match his way of talking a bit? I'm trying to sound like him, kinda. Don't take me serious. Because it's not that good at all. That idiot didn't even realize the danger he was in, and his phone call distracted him enough for me to take him by surprise. None of the two people whose questions might have caused trouble for me and Saya has vanished from the face of the earth. All that's left is to eliminate the other. Dr. Tampo? Oh, so he doesn't know what's happening with Tsukuba. And he's gonna come back and know, and he's gonna be. That's even better. Just like how he reacted when he knew about the death of Suzumi's wife and daughter. Tsukuba, I mustn't underestimate her just because she is less aggressive than Koji. Even she should be able to see a connection between the disappearances of her two friends. I suppose I should be thankful that it was Yo to whom Koji was talking on the phone. If he had reported our location to a third party, I would have to track down and eliminate that person too. I'm a little worried about what they were discussing, but judging by how Koji was screaming into the phone, they probably weren't exchanging detailed information. Either way, I would better get rid of Yo as soon as possible. She's so done. After looking all night long, I finally reached the Nasu Flats station just as the trains start running. Bro, you barely could even enter the train, and now it's so okay with you. God, I really hate how used he got to this. It only takes an hour to get back to Tokyo on the limited express. It's not enough time to reset, but I'm too wound up for that to matter. Besides, I don't want to waste any time thinking up a way to kill you. Using the cabin again would be too dangerous, and I'm not sure how I would get her out get her out there in the first place. I just exploded in her face the other day. I doubt that she will be as quick to trust me as Koji was, which means that it will be difficult to get her alone. I could ask Saya for her opinion, but even I have some pride. I want to show her that I am a man who can take care of business. She took care of it already. Oh, I should be careful, yeah. Oh my god, I just imagined something, and please tell me it's not gonna happen. Unfortunately, I'm unable to come with. I'm unable to come up with anything before I get home. I suppose that I should just be proud of having dealt with Koji, the immediate threat. The search for Dr. Ogai's cabin was a bust, with no trace of his having been there. But I see no reason to be frustrated. Sai isn't all that concerned about the doctor's whereabouts, so looking for him just something to satisfy my own curiosity. Okay, we're still safe. This morning, half a day later than I normally get home, and the sound of Saya running down the stairs tells me just how important she was, how impatient she was for my return. It makes me feel warm inside. Yeah, she's really excited to tell you about how she just tormented a human being.
おかえり、文則。
She throws her arm around my neck, her smile at least 20% brighter than usual.
遅くなってごめんな。いろいろ予定が変わったもんで。
Yeah, there was a change of plans on her side too.
私の方ももうちょっとで準備が終わるとこ。
準備
So responds to my confusion with a mischievous smile.
文則をね、びっくりさせる準備。
どういうこと？
まだ内緒。それより文則疲れてるでしょ？お腹空いてる？それともお風呂？
I don't realize how hungry I am until Sai mentions it. I walked all night without a bite to eat, and now my stomach's emptiness become painfully clear. However, I can't sit down to a leisurely meal while covered in dirt and sweat of the road. Yeah, he's gonna take a shower.
軽く何か口に入れて、それから風呂に入りたいな。
Aha.
温まるまでゆっくり。
そう言うと思って沸かしてあるよ、お風呂。一晩中外にいたんだもんね。寒かったでしょ。
ああ、そりゃも
Amazed by Saya's foresight, she's always ready to give me what I want before I want it. What do you have now? Oh, I knew it! Okay, here you go. Voice only. Okay, I don't think this part is important, really. He's talking about killing Kujo was really easy. And the hard thing was just going back. He's talking about how the journey was tiring. Not like he just killed someone moments ago. Why don't you just take that Koji person's clothes? Ha, they are laughing. Hee ha 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 ha. They're talking about Scuba now, that she's the one left. Yeah, she knows something you don't know. She's asking her if he have a plan already for her. Leave it to you? What do you mean you've already done what you want to do? Should be ready by now. Oh, what did you do to her? She's gonna show him.
私がいいって言うまで開いちゃダメ。わかった？
I think this is the part where it's gonna be going back and forth hiding the screen. Close my eyes.
うん。
I have no idea what's going on, but I do as Saya says and close my eyes. She takes my hands and leads me upstairs. As I wonder what she has in store for me, the sound of crying reaches my ears. I stiffen. And that's when I hide the screen and make it audio only.
さや、上に何かいるんじゃ。
Yeah, there is something up there. There is someone up there.
目を開けちゃダメ。
No poking. She admonishes me, then strokes my arm soothingly.
危ないものじゃないから安心して。
Don't worry, there is no danger.
あ
Yeah, there is only one danger. Okay, two dangers here. All right. Little by little, the crying grows louder, and I can hear the misery and pain in every choked sob. He can hear it as normal. Wait a minute. That's because Saya changed something, right? At first, I was amazed that Saya would let someone in our house after what happened 2 days ago. But then I realized that something is strange. Isn't Saya the only one whose voice can carry such clear emotion to me? Just what I said! Oh my god, what did she do to her? What did she do to her? Although my eyes are still closed when Saya leads me into the bedroom. My ears tell me that there is someone only a few feet away, and yet I smell none of the human body odor that normally turns my stomach.
さあ、ご対面。文則、目を開けて。
Time to say hello. Open your eyes. I'm not gonna unhide the screen yet. I open my eyes and I'm struck dumb by what I see. He can see her normally. He can see her normal. Wait, why would Sai turn her into one of them? Also, she have nothing on, so I can't show the screen. And I think I kinda know now what's gonna happen next. And I don't wanna see it. Scobio is curled up on the floor, with not a scrap of clothing to cover her shivering body. When I first laid eyes upon her, I am entranced by the
文則、この子の体、どんな風に見える？
How does she look to
綺麗
you?
だ。でも、
She's beautiful,
な
but
んで
why
僕
can't
に
I?
もちゃんと。
Wait, that's not good for Saya though. It doesn't make sense. This is Tsukubayo I remember, not the featured creature whose attentions I found so unbearable after the accident. My sister recognized her as a human that she is.
この子ね、文則のことが好きだったんだって。
This girl loves you, you know? Yeah, sure, we know. She have been cruelly rejected. Of course we know. You know what I never told Saya? How did she
だ
find
か
out?
ら私、この子の体を作り変えてあげたの。ちゃんと文則に
So I
可
decided
愛
to
がっ
change
てもら
her
えるような
into
姿に。
one that you can love back. What is the point of that, Saya? Saya pauses to gauge any reaction, then continues with a satisfied nod.
私の同類にしてあげたの。
どうしてどうやって
I still don't understand what Saya chose Yo, but this last statement is even more baffling. She changed Yo into she made Yo like her, a monster basically. She changed Yo?
ねえ文則、一昨日も言ったでしょ。私には他の生き物の体に細工ができるんだって。
Don't you remember that I said what I said the other day? I can mold the bodies of other living things. Yes, I remember she claimed to have done something to Suzumi's brain. I didn't doubt her sincerity then, but I suppose that some part of me thought she was exaggerating. I hadn't seen her handiwork firsthand.
隣のおじさんにしたような小細工じゃなくて、今回のは大掛かりな変換だったけど、
It's a big change this
で
time,
も
not
これが私の能力の本当の使い方なんだよ。
It was a big change this time, not like the little tweak I made to the man next door. But this is how my abilities are really meant to be used.
実際にやってみたのはこれが初めてなんだけど。
This was my first time doing it though.
本当によ
Yeah, this is really Yo, okay? Yo finally notices my presence and turns her head to face me. I see a faint glimmer of recognition in her glassy, unfocused eyes. Her features are exactly as I remember them. Incredible. This is far beyond cosmetic surgery. Once a twisted creature unrecognizable as human, Yo is now a very image of human femininity. There's no similarity between what she was and what she is, which can only mean that she has become something utterly inhuman. I know where is this going and I don't want to see it, and the moment it's gonna start I'm gonna go ham with the mouse, skipping every single scene. And you know what? That saves us time. I can finish the game earlier at this point. According to Saya, she has become what Saya is.
人か人目の生態構造についてはね。サヤは
Oh,
もう
the screen is gonna
この
switch
星で
back to
一
Yo
番の
every
エキス
now
パ
and
ートな
then.
の。いっぱい勉強したからね。
What? No, this planet knows more about the biology of Homo sapiens than I do. Saya declares, her voice full of pride for her first creation.
勉強って何を誰から学んだんだ
How did you
いつ
learn
どう
this?
やって
Ogai? She couldn't have learned it from Ogai. Why? No teacher on earth could impart such knowledge or skill.
だって
Oh my god, that scared me.
毎日文則の注ぎ込んでもらったじゃない。私の中に。あれ、要は人間っていう生き物の設計図みたいなものだから、私には
I'm not
そ
gonna
れを
read
読
that.
み解くことができるの。好きなようにいじることもね。でもね、やっぱり最初だったもんだから 手際よくできなくて。
Messed up a little? What do you mean? It was my first time. When Sai approaches, Yo trembles and tries to crawl away, but is only able to flare her arms and legs wildly. It's like she doesn't know how to move her own body. Oh, she's completely destroyed mentally. Only frightened moans.
喋れないのか
Yeah, she can't talk. Her mind is completely broke now.
あいにく心の方は壊れちゃったみたい。
I guess the change broke her mind. Sighs in mild disappointment.
なんだかんだで変身が終わるまで20時間もかかっちゃったから、ちょっとかわいそうなことしちゃったかな。かなり苦しかっただろうし。
Oh my god, exactly at this moment. I hate how an expert I've been now. Yo looks up at me bleedingly as though begging me to save her. She's no longer able to ask me for help though, or even to call my name.
で、どう？気に入ってくれた？
Wait a minute, I think the audio was doubled. Yeah. So asks, her eyes shining with anticipation. Do you like her? I am at loss for how to respond.
どうって
What do you mean like
だ
her?
って文則、
You
友
said
達
you
や
wanted
家族
family
が
and
欲しい
friends,
って言
didn't you?
ってたで
That's
しょ？
why I got you
だか
this
らこれ
present.
はさやからのプレゼント。
Her instant explanation only confuses me further.
プレゼントって
She's not a dog.
子犬か何かじゃあるまいし
Well, apparently you still consider her a human. Thankfully. Which is not good at all, though.
似たようなもんだよ。どうせ頭の中なんて真っ白なんだから。
Her head is totally empty. There is not much difference. How is that Sai wants to please me, but she could use a little more common
い
sense.
や人間一人を監禁し続けるっていうのは
Holding a person captive is probably a lot harder than you think. Wait, I think he cares now because he can see her as a human. Like, I think if he saw Koji as a human too, he would have hesitated a bit. Just a little bit.
大丈夫だよ。
And what about it? Look,
こうやって
I have her
鎖で
chained
繋いだ
up.
し。
Oh, she have a choker on her neck, actually. The only thing preventing Yo from being leather collar around her neck. I have no idea where Saya got it from, but it's the kind of dog collar that would be sold in any pet store. The chrome chain is fastened to one of the bedposts. He tries to get away again, but Saya sends her sprawling with a tug of the chain. Her temples to the floor, squealing in pain. Her actions are those of an intelligent animal, just as I said.
それにこの子、どっちみち逃げ出して何かしようとか、そういう難しいことは
Doesn't
も
have
う
the
できない
brains
か
to
ら。
escape or get help.
これでもう文則が心配することなんてないでしょ。
Saya has a point. I was racking my brain for a plan to kill Yo, but now my problem has been solved in a way that I never could have imagined. If another person look upon her now, they will probably see no trace of the old Yo, and if she has no memories and can't even speak, then it's perfect. Saya had killed Yo without taking her life. So that's what they meant by worse than death. There is still the problem of what she means by giving Yo to me.
嬉しくない？
You're not happy. Saya asks dejectedly, her confidence suddenly gone.
私また何か勘違いしてた？文則のこと困らせちゃった？
I believe Minori is gonna be the last person to have a problem with that.
いや
You just don't know how to react, I believe.
この子の世話はちゃんと私が一人でやるよ。文則にめんどくさい思いなんてさせないよ。それでもダメ？
This bitch is actually treating her like a freaking pet. She wants her as a pet so bad. She's actually enjoying that. That's what he gets out of this. What she gets out of this. That's not it. The last thing I want is to reject this symbol of Saya's affection. But how can I explain to Saya why am I trying to not look at the naked woman writhing on the floor? You disgusting human being. I was late. There's the first human figure besides Saya that I've seen in the 3 months since the accident. And she's a woman positively glowing with feminine beauty. Of course, I'm happy, but I also can't ignore the voice of person that's telling me not to be. I'm happy really, but if I show how pleased I am, I'm worried that you will... She really don't get it? Saya looks puzzled as though she has absolutely no idea what I am getting at. I mean, look, she's still okay. We get it already. Don't you balk at the thought of me living with another girl? She's literally considering her as a pet at this point. After considering this briefly, Saya finally seems to be to understand what I'm trying to say.
そんな文則って考えすぎだよ。
Yeah, but I'm worrying too much, although I'm pretty sure that I am just showing no consideration that any man who's sworn his love to a woman would show. Or maybe Saya doesn't understand that a man faced with a woman's naked body can help but react regardless of his feelings.
おかしい。本当に優しいんだね、文則って。
Kind?
この子はね、文則のこと喜ばすためだけにさやが用意したの。文則がこの子のこと好きになってこの子と過ごすのを楽しいって思うようになってくれたら、それだけさやも嬉しいんだよ。それ遠慮するようなことじゃないよ。
こう言っちゃなんだが
I started to find the right words to express my true feelings.
そのものすごく下劣な生き物だからほら
Yeah, she's so
イオの
Suzumi
体っ
already.
てサヤの裸とはまた全然違う特徴があるだろ
He's actually comparing.
うこれってサヤのこと好きだって思う気持ちとは全然別
Okay, time to speedrun this part.
男の子だからそれでいいの。正常な
Yeah, it's
方
okay if
な
you're
の
a
よ。
man. Yeah, sure.
じゃあさ、この子を可愛がるときはさやも一緒に混ぜてよ。
If you're really
さや
that
の
worried,
体だけじゃできないような遊び方。
let me join in when you play with her.
ね。
We can enjoy ourselves in a way that we couldn't when it was just the two of us, okay?
いいのか
I hate this game. Look at this. Just look at this. She's really enjoying that. So answers with a smile, who's like I have never seen before. This should be the thumbnail. I should speedrun the thumbnail. Is calm, so terribly calm, and there is something betwitching about the soft set of her lips that sits apart from her usual bright childish expression.
文則とさやは恋人同士で、筑波陽はそんな二人のペ
You
ッ
and
ト。
I are lovers, and Skupayo is our pet.
この子は私と
Isn't
文
this
則に
obvious
可愛
already?
がられるたびにそのことを思い出すの。これから毎日ずーっとね。
Although she can no longer answer. I finally know why Saya chose Yo for the venom in her voice, and smile does not escape me. Although she can no longer answer, if asked, Yo would surely have chosen death over this fate. And that is the very reason Saya visited it upon her. How wicked and terrible Saya is. Congratulations, you found out. Perhaps Azar would fear and loathe her, however, I find her malevolence irresistibly charming. Okay, can we finish this?
さやは
Okay, accepted the present.
とっても綺麗で。
そうか。じゃあ二人でこいつと遊ぶ時もさやはさやで楽しめるんだね。
もちろん。
Okay, I think I have to mute now. No! No, 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 no! Yep, time to speedrun it. Wait, Scuba. Why? Why am I playing this? Screw you, Discord. Screw you, Discord server. You voted for that and you didn't even... And I'm now experiencing this all alone. This is not the type you enjoy, mate. This is painful. That would have been terrible if I forgot to mute. Are we done? 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 Later, as I lie on my bed, drained of energy, I consider what my life will be like from now on. So I was resting in my arms. Yo is curled up on the floor. Yesterday, I could not have imagined that the three of us would be a family, a new home, new food, a new family, all granted to me by Saya. She has selflessly led me to the brink of death to find new joy amid despair. And I, too, have changed. I have killed two people with my own hands and made a third my mindless slave. Yet despite all that I have done, I am still able to sleep peacefully. Without a doubt, I am no longer the Sakisaka Fuminori I once was. Why does Japanese people always like to include such things on their games? And always like to include mind break and sadness on, you know, satisfactory? How far will Saya take me? Hell. That's how far you will go. The depths of hell. What will I become? Monster. I feel somewhat unsure though not discouraged, about the unknown world into which we are heading. And so while playing with Saya's hair, I ask, Saya, what
一
are
体
you?
何者なんだい
Monster. I don't expect an answer if Saya is asleep or doesn't want to respond. I won't mind. For fuck's sake. Saya lifts her head, however, and draws my gaze into the deep pools of her eyes. Kind of hard to explain. She thinks for a while, searching for the right words, then says simply, "You know, dandelion flower, the one that scattered its seeds on the wind? Yeah. The wind carries those fluffy seeds far, far from where they were born. What if one of them ended up in a desert where not even a single blade of grass is growing? If you can imagine how that lone seed will feel, then you might be able to understand me. So sad. I am sad now. I feel empathy now." As a concise answer, she continues her story. That seed is still a baby flower. If it does its best, it can turn even a desert into a garden. Maybe that little seed will decide to thrive. Maybe it will decide to grow and multiply so that it can turn the whole desert into a field of dandelions. That's what basically Sai is doing now, by the way. What do you think can give that strength to do so? What? I whisper, entranced. Sai smiles softly and caresses my cheek. All it needs is to be loved by just one person in the whole desert. Oh my god. Oh god, I thought I was muted. That scared me. All needs to be told how pretty dandelions are. The loving touch of her slender fingers fills me with peace and joy. She tells him that she loves him, never leave my side please, and he tells her of course. Day ends. Oh my god, Koji! He has been buried alive. His world is the silence and cold of the grave. Ever since his voice gave out and he lost his strength to scream, no coherent thought has passed through Koji's mind. Okay, apparently he's still alive. Please, anyone finds out about this guy. Who's left? Who's a character left on this game now? Which characters do we have now? Yo is completely unavailable now. She's not dead, she's worse. There's Fuminori and Saya. They will definitely not try to save him. If they for some reason came back here, it will be just to mock him. They're not gonna even try to save him. Who's left? Ogai? We've never even saw his face. Takobe? What was her name? The doctor, the hot doctor. Yeah, this is the only possible character actually. But yeah, I'm gonna go make some tea really quick. I'm suffering from what I saw just now. You cannot enjoy that. If you enjoy that something, if you can enjoy such thing, something is wrong with you, mate. You need to actually get some help. I'm gonna go make something to drink. Be right back.
Raining explosion energy 10,000 grams of you can in cause you can
Like I keep fumbling my sugar and tea ratio recently. I add more tea and it tastes terrible. And I don't know why. Alright. Nothing is gonna show up, right? Instead he dreams. Images flash before his eyes, random and connected senses from his 20 years of life. Not all are happy times, there are sad, painful memories as well. But even these are pleasantly warm compared to the death that is now encroaching upon him. He dreams of mountains. His older brother once took him hunting for insects when he was a child. They sealed their caught butterflies in a plastic bag and only to later find themselves holding a bag of tiny corpses. That's terrible. He dreams of his lover. Oh yeah, Omi, his girlfriend. They met at a mixer, where he had been the only one to realize that he couldn't hold her liquor after she had been too much to drink. After she had too much to drink, he looked after her while she vomited in the back alleyway. They toasted each other with canned juice, and then he dreams that he is diving into a black sea. Then he reaches the bottom. He looks up to see the moon shining through the surface of the water. As he gazes up at the circle of the light, entranced by its roundness and brilliance, the distant rumbling of an engine reaches his ears. Wait, what? Engine? Something still conscious within him tells him that this dream is wrong. Someone's here. He still can be saved. Have I ever gone diving at night before? The dots began to connect in his mind, forming a barrier to separate his dreams from reality. What is bothering him? Of course, the sound. Someone's here. Who? The doctor? Takobe? The engine noise gradually fades to a low idling, then abruptly gives way to silence, followed by the sound of door opening and closing. Who? No way Saya and Fuminori are actually here to mock him, right? This isn't a dream, the sounds are real. Understanding comes like a sudden blow. This isn't the bottom of the sea. And that circle of light isn't the moon. Wait! He called Takobe! Before calling you, right? Wait, maybe that's... And she traced his phone or something. If that's possible. It's the mouth of the well. The sun has already risen. And someone is right outside with a car. The last piece falls into place, and he becomes Tonokoji once more. Koji shouts, surprised by how easily his voice emerges. His desperation blocks out the pain of his throat. Come on, he can be saved, right? He keeps screaming with all his might. Soon the echoes in the crammed well become deafening, and he is no longer certain of his screams. If his screams have meaning or he's just howling wordlessly. Nevertheless, he continues his only desire to be heard. Lest he die forgotten at the bottom of this well. Koji's wait is not long, but even a minute feels like an eternity on the edge of despair. So the circle of light above him is partially eclipsed by the silhouette of a person staring down into the well.
殿くん生きてるのか
Doctor! Oh my god, I'm so happy. For a lot of reasons. Owen's voice. Koji has heard it somewhere before, but for some reason cannot remember to whom it belongs. Bro, I'm glad he's still even conscious at this point.
ちょっと待ってろすぐに助ける
Please, quick, he actually almost died. His life was flashing before his eyes already. The silhouette vanishes, restoring the light to a perfect circle. The feel of being left alone again threatens to send Koji into a panic. But his reason has recovered enough to resist. Oh my god, he still have reasoning? My god, all respect to this guy. She said she's going to get me out. I haven't been abandoned. While waiting, he gingerly tests his body, which he had forgotten all about until now. His joints ache and his fingers and toes are numb. But though exhausted, he's still in one piece. Sometimes the silhouette reappears at the top of the well.
君怪我はないか自力でロープを登れるか
Can he?
いやちょっとそれは
Yeah, he's numb. Koji lacks the confidence to attempt such a feat. His frozen fingers can barely move.
まあ仕方あるまい一旦私もそっちに降りる
Oh my god, what a Chad doctor. After a brief pause, I'm gonna be really sad if she turned out to be someone bad. After a brief pause, the owner of the voice tosses a knotted climbing rope into the well. He grabs the rope as soon as it reaches him. The rough threads bite into his palm, and relief nearly overwhelms him at the sensation. This is really happening. He's really safe. Now that he's free from despair, questions leap to the forefront of his mind. First among them, who's his savior? The doctor. The rope shakes as the woman climbs carefully down. I mean, if she wasn't here because of his call, of his voicemail, and she traced his location because of it, then she was here for other reasons, which means she has something. She's hiding something, and I'm gonna be really disappointed if I was right. The rope shakes as the woman climbs carefully down, the beam from the floodlight slung over her shoulder, pushing back the shadow cast by her body. Soon she's standing the same as Koji, and he finds himself face to face with...
先生
Yes! I mean, I know the voice already, but yeah.
他の誰かを期待したかい
Oh wow. Oh my god, I like that. Leather jacket, black shirt, black collared shirt. Perfect. Were you expecting someone else? Koji indeed had not imagined that his savior would turn out to be Dr. Tampo or Ryoko. Yeah, Tampo, not Takobi. Oh my god, Takobi, that was a terrible manga. Of course, it took him a moment. Why is the game so low? Never mind. We indeed had not imagined that his savior would turn out to be Dr. Tampo Ryoko. Of course, it took him a moment to recognize her. Instead of a white gown and tight skirt, she's wearing a heavy leather coat. Bro, you think she's gonna wear her doctor outfit everywhere? She's wearing a heavy leather coat, denim jeans, and boots with no heel. She might have expected a hike through the mountains, so she traced his phone. Her light is blocky all-purpose type featuring side-mounted fluorescent runners in addition to the main floodlight. Survivor gear and professional grade by the look of it.
ひどいありさまだな。ほらこれ。
You look awful. Dr. Tampo says wryly as she gives Koji a once over her. A once over. Here, drink this. She pulls a flask out of her pocket and hands it to him.
飲み込まず、ゆっくり一口ずつ舐めるようにしろ。少しはマシになるだろう。
ありがとうございます。
She walks around with a flask. Maybe Koji is just old-fashioned, but doesn't seem appropriate for a young woman and a doctor at that. Be glad she's even here, mate. Nevertheless, he unscrews the cap and takes a swig and struggles to keep from coughing as the potent liquid sears his tongue.
なんですかこれ。
Oh yeah, what the hell is this?
スピリタスウォッカ。着付け薬によし、消毒によし。浴びせてから火をつければ効くような相手にはかなり効く。
Does a fine job of setting things on fire. That was unnecessary. Did she just heal him with a vodka? My god, look at this expression. Look at this expression. Best character on the whole game. Her tone is straightforward and quite serious. Koji only gave at the doctor. The dark smile on her face doing little to ease his confusion. Why dark smile? What's she up to? Is this really Dr. Tambo? She's gonna be like, my name is Tambo, also known as Ogai. There is no trace of the bookish, mild-mannered woman Koji met at the hospital. Her expression is now set in a hard mask, and her eyes are sharp and wary. In the darkness at the bottom of the well, it is possible, however, unlikely that the change in her features is due to the ominous shadows cast by her lamp. It's not so easy, however, to explain the change in her demeanor.
先生はどうしてここに。
Huh?
電話をよこしたのは君だろうが。
Yoko replies brusquely, glaring at Koji like an annoyed
行
professor.
方不明者を探してる二人組が妙な留守電の後に揃いも揃って音信不通になったりしたら何かあったと思うのが普通だろ。
I'm supposed to think everything is fine. Oh my god, thanks God.
はあ。
She still doesn't understand why she acted so quickly, but it's a different part of what she just said and seizes his attention.
じゃあ筑波は筑波陽にも連絡を。
She's done.
したよ。君と一緒で繋がらない。正直なところ、私はてっきり君も死体になってるもんだと思ってたんだがね。
They are both alive. Well, yeah, kinda. Are you guys gonna stay in the well? Can we just get out of here first? Or are you planning to take some information from him, then leave him to die again? That's right, he almost died at the hands of the man he thought was his best friend. Anger and frustration well up inside of him. He can't forgive Fuminori's betrayal, nor can forgive himself for his foolishness. You know what? You are presumed dead for Fuminori now. You can get rid of him without he even knows about it, and God, this is gonna be really fun to watch. And now he has no idea if Scuba is safe when we try to kill Koji. When we try to kill Koji, could he have done the same with her?
まあ落ち着け。ここで君がいくら殺気だって見たところで始まらん。
何かあったと思ったのなら警察には届けてくれたんですか？
Must have called the police? I don't think so.
警察だと？
She's back to the smile. Still engrossed in her examination of the walls, Ryoko laughs scornfully at the idea.
そうか。君はまだそういう形でケリがつけられるものだと思っているわけか。
Come on now, Koji. Isn't it obvious already that there is no way out? No normal one, at least?
どういう意味です？
Annoyed by her condescending attitude, Koji is about to demand answers when she cuts him off with a gesture and shines her light at the corner of the
ト
wall.
ノー君、こいつには気づかなかったのか？
What?
は？
In the light of the lamp, Koji sees that some of the stones are a different shape than the rest of the wall. This must be what Ryuko is looking for. What?
気づきませんでした。ずっ
Wait,
と
he
真っ
could
暗
have
だ。
climbed it? He could have climbed it?
うーん
Ryuko gazes moves slowly along the wall, finally coming to rest on a gap between two of the stones. The hole is just wide enough for an adult to reach into open-handed. This was there already.
君、いいところに落ちてくれたよ。ひょうたんから困ってやつか。
You sure picked the right wall to fall down. Hiroko says with a grim smile, like they say it's always the last place you look. What? What? Wait, this is not gonna end well. She wastes no time thrusting her hand into the opening. After she feels around for a few seconds, Koji hears the thunk of something solid coming together behind the wall.
先生、
A hidden entrance, right? Rico holds her hand out and gives the different colored stone a gentle push. With the rumble of weights shifting, the stones slide smoothly back. Shifting, the stones slide smoothly back into the wall.
こういう仕掛けか。やられたよ。前に来た時は気づきもしなかった。
So she knows about this place.
前にも来た。
Koji wants to answer, but Ryoko ignores him and peers into the opening of the beam of her floodlight. Koji can see a concrete tunnel leading into the mountain.
私は先に進むが、トノー君、君はここに残ることを勧める。
You better stay here. Let him out. Her warning is utterly devoid of warmth. Considering his options, Koji looks from the tunnel to the rope and back again. He practically sweating now, thanks to the 190 proof vodka he just drank, but although feeling has returned to his fingers, he still doesn't have the strength to climb. That said, the thought of being alone in the well makes him shiver. He have been here for a long time. He almost died here. Doctor, what the hell? She actually doesn't care, right? She's gonna turn out to be evil at some point. I should have realized that earlier, but I am just so desperate.
一緒に行きます。連れてってください。
まあ好きにしろ。
Ryuko steps into the tunnel without looking back, and Koji doesn't hesitate to follow.
前にお会いした時と ずいぶん雰囲気が違いますね。
Yeah, she was different. Koji says sarcastically, following Ryoko as he moves cautiously down the tunnel, with her light leading the way.
ここは病院じゃない。君は患者じゃない。営業スマイルが必要か？
This doesn't come with a smile.
じゃあこっちが先生の字ですか。
さあ、どうだかな。どうだっていいことだろ。
Ryoko suddenly stops and stares at the floor. When Koji looks over her shoulder, he sees a dust-covered robe laying coiled on the middle of the bath.
何です？
あの井戸から降りてきたやつの小細工さ。
Something left by the last guy who came down that well. Ryoko picks up the rope, examines it, and hands it to Koji.
長さは私が使ったロープのほぼ2倍。途中に結び目があって、端は両方とも切断されてる。この両端がつながって輪になってたのさ。
A circle?
え？
外のどこかにこの輪を引っ掛けて、井戸の底まで伝って降りる。その後、ナイフで輪を切って井戸の中に引っ張り込めば、井戸の底に降りた痕跡は残らない。
Ah. Yoko shines her light down the tunnel, revealing that it ends in a closed wooden door with about 10 meters
こうや
ahead.
ってここに逃げ込んだやつは追っ手の目をくらませたのさ。やられたよ。まんまと騙された。
Is she on the good side or the bad side?
先生、さっき前にも来たっていうのは。
ああ、君や咲坂君だけじゃない。私も以前、鴎外を追ってこの別荘に来た。
Uh-huh. Oh my god, you have a shotgun. Wait, wrong. Oh my lord, you have a shotgun. What's she gonna do with that? As Yuko speaks, she opens her coat and pulls out what she had hanging underneath it. What are you gonna do with that? Killing Koji?
他に出口がないとしたら、奴はまだあの扉の向こう側にいるわけだ。
Aha. She's planning to kill him. This is not for just injuring. This is gonna blow his mind. Literally. At first, Koji thinks that she's holding a steel pipe, amazed that she would be carrying a weapon. Koji looks closer and is appalled. What the hell is this word? When he realizes what it really is. A gun. And not one of those sleek handguns that he's seen in the movies, but a double-barreled shotgun. The stock and barrels have been sewed down for easier concealment. Enchanting. Why are we explaining all that?
何ですかそれ？
Shotgun.
ショットガン、12番
Just as I said. 12 gauge. Rook replies blandly, as though naming a brand of cigarettes.
私にはこいつを持ち歩く資格なんてないし、こんな風に改造するのも銃刀法違反だ。他に質問は？
Any other questions?
そんなもの持ち出して一体どうするつもりです？
Killing Ogai. This is not for injuring or capturing. This is just for killing. Why though? We need information. Yoko looks over her shoulder and gives Koji her most chilling smile yet. I wanna see it.
鴎外の正体を
This is not a
初め
goddamn
て知った
smile.
時、私はただの善良な一般市民だった。交通違反すら無縁のね。
The first thing about what Ogai was doing, I was a model citizen, never even gotten a ticket. The one whom Koji believed was just a normal doctor waves her sawed-off shotgun menacingly as she continues her tune sharp and bitter. What if the doctor can see everything gory and bloody just like Fuminori and she got too used to it that she's just acting normal at this point?
あの時にこいつがあったなら、私は多分オーガイをきっちり殺せていただろう。そうなってれば、もしかしたら君たちがこんな災難に巻き込まれることもなかったかもしれない。その点は申し訳ないと思ってるよ。
Ah, okay, she's not a bad person.
あ
She listens in silence. Help us to do anything but to watch as understanding moves further and further out of his grasp.
だから、
Here it is.
これから私がやることは一切合切。君とその友達が足を突っ込んでる泥沼なありさまを終わらせてやるための手続きだ。その辺をよく理解して余計な口は突っ込まないこと。
Alright.
いいね。
Roger that. Which can only nod weakly in response. With light in her left hand and the shotgun in her right, Ryoko walks to the door and takes a deep breath. She kicks the door open, putting her full weight behind the blow. And we're gonna know what the hell was behind this door all along on the next stream. God, I thought I'm gonna finish the game today. Apparently I won't. So yeah, let me finish this really quickly before it gets longer. So that's gonna be it for today's stream. Thanks to everyone who watched it or will watch until now. Today was really, really silent. I hope you guys have a good rest of whenever this video now. And until next time, stay alive. I still have a lot of work to do, man. Bye.